is essentially a break from the heavy topics because I know I need one. I'm not sure if y'all need one. That is the intro. This is your local internet friend signing in, and today I'm going to be talking about one of the things that I've essentially been doing to help heal some of my inner child wounds. And the thing in question is actually just going back and either watching the shows that I wanted to watch when I was younger or watching the shows that I did watch when I was younger to see how I feel about them now. Here's how that's been going actually. So the first group of shows that I decided that I was going to go ahead and just watch are shows that I mainly remember from my childhood. Miffy and Friends, which I did actually find an entire playlist for that I can just easily put on and send myself to bed. The Wiggles, because yes, I was that type of weird child. And that's probably the reason as to why the Australian accent itself is so normalized to me. And Peep in the Big Wide World. When I wrote down the title of this specific show, instead of wide, I ended up writing wild. And I'm pretty sure that wasn't it. There's another show that I originally started watching, but because of the fact that it's on Disney Plus specifically, I stopped watching. Not only did I stop watching kind of because of the boycott that's going on with Disney specifically, but my mom has like two different Disney Plus accounts, and I'm not sure which one she's paying for right now. Nor do I remember the login information for either of them. So I just decided not to even try. It was Roly Poly Oly. But watching children's shows from when I was a tiny tot wasn't the only thing that I was doing. No, I was also watching movies that I just randomly became interested in. So movies like pretty much any type of Studio Ghibli movie. I'm still currently in the midst of finishing off the list of Studio Ghibli movies that I've at least watched once. I watched La La Land, which was one of those movies where when it first came out, I kept on hearing about it, and while I wasn't interested in it back then, constantly hearing about it just makes me even more curious. What the heck about it? But like, there was no way that I was able to watch it back then until it came up again and I actually had the ability to watch it. So I did. It was pretty good actually. I don't think it was as good as a lot of people had said it was, especially when it first came out. But it was good nonetheless. Are you also growing another leaf? So as you can see, I'm currently sitting on my bed, and like in front of my bed is two of my plants. Well, directly in front of my bed is two of my plants, and I can see that one of them is actually growing a new leaf. And I just reminded myself, seeing as though spring is coming around anyway, I'm gonna have to start fertilizing my plants again. Another movie actually that I ended up watching that I regretted watching, and I honestly couldn't finish the entire movie in one sitting because of how uncomfortable it made me. But apparently that was the point of the movie, was to go ahead and make people uncomfortable. Well, I mean, it's done its job at least. The movie was Black Swan, and it was mainly because BTS. Listen, Leaderdom said that he decided to go ahead and rewatch the movie just to go ahead and be able to write the song that they have by the same name. And I was like, okay, well, I now want to go ahead and get at least a taste of what he was trying to figure out while watching the movie. Completely regretted it. It was almost as bad as the whole banana fish ordeal. No, thank you. Now, the third category is shows that I specifically wanted to watch, but when they came out, I was about like tween teen years, and similar to when I was younger, didn't really have control over what would be playing on the TV, but also for most of that time we did not have full access to cable. So as I said, found some of the shows that I wanted to watch when I was younger. I would have tried to rewatch some of the shows that I watched when I was younger, but a lot of them were live action Nickelodeon shows, and well, I'm not ready for that type of discomfort, to be fair. So most of these are actually just Cartoon Network animations. Like regular show, I was so into that when I was younger. The jokes don't hit the same way that they did when I was younger. And honestly, that kind of bummed me out. Another show, Chowder, but I don't think that was Cartoon Network. I have a phone, I could figure that out. Never mind, it was Cartoon Network. And apparently it only had 3 seasons. Similar to regular show, I was really into it when I was younger. It did not hit the same when I tried to watch it again. Third one, Adventure Time. Something that I constantly wanted to go ahead and watch, but again, Cartoon Network. I think I've only gone through about 9 episodes before I had to stop, because each episode itself was overstimulating and annoying. It was loud, there was a lot of flashing lights. It's almost as if this was just supposed to go ahead and put brain into no think, only watch and laugh at stupid jokes mode. And like my entire being was just like, but where's the depth? So while I might actually go back into watching more of Adventure Time, I don't think it's going to be anytime soon. And last but not least, finally we have Steven Universe, which was not only a show that I wanted to watch when I was younger, when it originally came out, but a show where I ended up getting introduced to a lot of the songs that came from the show. And as a person that hadn't actually watched the show, it's almost like, how do I know the songs if I hadn't watched the show? But it's kind of because I end up watching a lot of people who were into the show and either did their own covers of the songs or mentioned the songs themselves. The only thing that I remembered when it originally came out, or when it first started airing, was randomly finding out that Estelle, the artist that did American Boy, a song that I really like, was voicing one of the main characters. Had already set me on, no, but now I have to watch it. And unlike the other 3 shows I ended up talking about in this section specifically, there's a lot of depth in each episode. There's actually a lot of just like stupid jokes in each episode. I'm very interested in how things tend to play out, and they also try to make things seem a bit more cohesive. Just the simple clips that I end up finding when I'm scrolling through TikTok. There is this one clip from when Steven first goes to a real doctor, and said doctor is talking about like, physically you seem to be fine, so there might just be a problem mentally or emotionally. And they end up bringing up the idea of what type of trauma have you gone through, and then we start going through the entire like first half of season 1 as flashbacks, and it's like, yeah, no, this child has actually been traumatized. So I personally like that type of attention to detail. Like each episode itself coincides with the others. They're not just like random bits that just happens. It's similar to Adventure Time. And once again, I know specifically that Adventure Time, once you get through to like a specific part of it, or once you get through to like a specific season or a specific spin-off series for it, it starts to have that type of depth that Steven Universe has from the jump. But again, why not have that type of depth from the jump? Could you tell I'm a fan of Steven Universe, even though there have been several times in which I have been on the verge of crying right as an episode ends because there was something that was subconsciously within me that needed to have been handled and healed, and the show has done that profoundly. So that's just one example of one of the things that I'm specifically doing that doesn't really need to cost much money, if any at all, but also that actually does a lot more than just that does way more than just like soothing the inner child within me that wanted to go ahead and watch these type of shows but did not have the chance. It's also like I'm getting lessons on how to know when a show or a movie is for you, and how to be able to pick out things from said show or movie that you can carry on with you, even if you didn't like the show and or movie. All in all, I just wanted to do a relatively quick and like lighthearted video because I feel like I needed that. So if you liked the video, please press the like button. If you want to go ahead and see more videos similar to this, you can go ahead and click the subscribe button. If you want to put any type of questions, comments, concerns, or ideas for future videos anywhere, you can go ahead and put them in the comment section below, or you can just send it to me through either of my social medias, which I probably would end up having also in the description box, but I'm not sure how that goes anymore. And with all that being said, I have been your local internet friend, and this is Toki saying Toki out.